Good evening, everybody. Hello, Laquita. Hey, Love Bug. How are you today, Love Bug? How's everything going? You okay? Hey, Impress. Hey, Jana. How's everything going? How's everyone doing? I'm trying to get my mic together right here. Hold on. Because I'm trying to make sure it doesn't have no echo. Echo. Let me stop. Echo. Hey, guys. How you guys doing? Hey, Facebook user, whoever's that is on the other side, I have to turn on my Facebook. Hey, I'm Shannon. Hey, Charlotte. Hey, I'm Debbie. Impress, Jana. Merry-go-round, Nakia. Hi, guys. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing pretty well. Hope you guys are doing really, really good this evening. I'm doing well, praying that all is well with you and your family. Yes, it is. Hey, Anna. Hey, Kayla. Hey, Bree. Merry-go-round. Debbie. Okay, I said everybody already, names already. So how you guys doing? You guys doing well? I am glad you guys are doing well. Just came back to give you some more stuff. Hey, Vonda. Hey, Jerome. How you doing? Welcome, Jerome. How are you? Glad you're here. Please subscribe and share. All right. I'm going to give you guys some update in regarding to Robert's case. There was an Hey, Rhoda, Anna, Carolyn. Okay, I'm going to wait a little bit more, a few more minutes for everybody to get in. Everybody get in. I'll just pull up this stuff here for you guys. Hold on a second. There is some updates in his case, and I am going to continue with what I have to give you guys for today. Okay, sounds good? Sounds good, good people? How's everybody doing? Been working today. I've been working. I've been working. Yes. Just taking one day at a time, y'all. Continue to pray for Robert. Don't forget, on the 27th at 9 a.m., we will be going live along with Peter because they're having a march and a prayer for Robert in Nigeria. So it's going to be in there. So it's going to be in that area. Whoa. Hold on, y'all. Just bear with me a second. Got to open it up a different way. Just a second, guys. I got to open up this case a different way. It's not letting me open it up the way I was opening it up. Got to do it the query way, no. Hold on. Hold on a second. Oh, go back. Just bear with me a second. Just a second. All right, I have this stuff open, ready for you guys to look at here. Hey, good design. Hey, Miguel Jones, how are you? Keep bringing the great content, Miss Sylvia. You're welcome. God got you all the way. Thank you, Miguel. Alita, hey, Impress, Lisa. Okay, who did I miss? Love you, y'all good people. Who is that saying love y'all good people? Let me go into Facebook and see, because you didn't put your name, so I don't know who's that saying love y'all good people. Let me go see who that is. So I gotta say hello to the people in the Facebook family. You know, the Facebook family. Gotta go see who that is. Let me see who that is. Let me see who that is. Hold on, we're trying to get to see who that is. Gotta see who it is. Hey, Jan. Hey, Angie. I didn't know it was Angie, my girl on the other side on Facebook. Hey, Ann. Love you too, Jan. I haven't seen you. You've been working hard? Jan, you've been working hard out there? Hey, Margaret. Jan, you've been working really, really hard over there, huh? I don't ever see you anymore. All right, guys, we got quite a few people in the chat, and let's get going. To keep TK Moss, hey guy, how you doing? Are you gonna be available on 27th in the morning, TK? Because I wanted to you to come. Hey Gucci, Gucci's on Facebook. Hey Gooch, Gucci's on Facebook over there. Hey Gucci, Gucci. All right, here we go. You've been too much work, medical assistant. Yeah, you've been working a lot. But I'm glad you're doing well. I miss seeing you, Jan. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look. You here now? Okay, Gooch. Welcome here. All right, we're gonna share this over here. This is the Chicago case. I did read today that they have halted everything in Chicago's case. All right. Yeah, the 27th. For what they're doing a prayer, and they're doing a prayer in Africa for hey Nakia, Africa for Robert. They're doing prayer in March on the 27th. All right, here we go. Everybody can see this. All right, this is the minutes from Chicago. And it says here the docket entry was made by the clerk on Thursday, July 15, 2021. The minutes entry before the Honorable Harry D. Leden-Weber telephonic status hearing held on July 15th as to all defendants. Defendants waive appearance. That means none of the defendants were there. The trial date set for 9/13, and the corresponding deadlines are vacated, meaning that everything has stopped to a halt. It's no longer in existence right now. It's vacated, like you're gone for a little while. Telephonic status hearing set for the September 17th. Remember, I had told y'all it was going to be on the 17th. That has been also postponed, stated on the record, and is reset for September 22nd at 9 a.m. And the time is excluded to September 22nd, 2021, pursuant of 18 U.S.C. 3161 H7 A and B, in the interest of justice and for the reasons stated on the record. And then they mailed the notice, right? So that's basically what it's saying. It's just giving you information that this is what everything's vacated. Nothing's happening. So Illinois has been placed on a halt. Okay? Nothing's happening there. So, but we already knew that. So that's that for that part. Okay. And in New York, the update for New York. Hey, Ivan. Hey, Charlotte. Let's see. Update for New York. Let's see if anything has been updated in New York. I don't think so. Guys, remember I told you guys I was going to bring you anything that has changed, anything that has transpired. Nothing has been done in New York other than this scheduling order, which was signed by Judge Donnelly the other day, and the extension of the limit, that word that I don't like saying, that one, the extension, and that was extended to the 23rd. So we're waiting to see what the attorneys are going to turn in. So that's roughly tomorrow. So something should be placed in. So we'll keep an eye and ears open. Okay. So it said it was granted in good faith, and there will be no further extension. So tomorrow we should see what's going to be posted on the PESA. Of course, I will bring it to you, and I will keep you guys updated. Okay. Please hit the like button. Go out there, hit the like button, because I got some stuff to share with you guys today. What I have been doing the last couple of days is I've been going back, and I have been depicting some articles that were written from back in 1990, back in the 90s all the way to now. Some of you guys may not be abreast of what was happening. Some of you guys have read it. Some people haven't. Some people are familiar with it. What I'm going to do is kind of bring you guys to the forefront in understanding that all of this occurred after he became big. After Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly became big, when he became a musical phenomenon, leeches has started coming about and attaching themselves to him. 7 times you will remember it. Say, Sylvia, say and write the word 7 times you will remember it. Which word? Oh yeah, that word. I will. You're right. I'm going to say it. Okay. I'm going to do that. It's going to be 9:00 a.m. Alethea on the 27th, 9:00 a.m. Okay. As I was saying, I've been going back and reading different articles and trying to get some insight pieces together. A lot of things I knew already, but sometimes it's best to sit down and take your time and read. When they say, when you want to hide something from a person, a Black person, they said, you put it in a book or you put it in some sort of writing, because it's gonna pass them. So that's why I've spent a lot of my time reading through these books that these people put out, trying to understand some of their motives. And we all know the money has been the driver and the motivator for a lot of this stuff that's happening in regards to Robert Sylvester Kelly. He became the, quote, cash cow. He became the person that a lot of the leeches kind of took a hold and started, attaching themselves to him. And they started doing things that he didn't know about. They started plotting. And like I said in my title, it's always been about his money. They realized that he, in a lot of things, even in different interviews when he spoke, he talked about how the money didn't mean anything to him, right? He talked about, and I'm going to play an interview that he had, and then we're going to go forth into what I have for you guys tonight. Mr. Kelly, it's never been about the money for him. It's always been about his music. It's always been about the gift that God had given to him. It's always been about him walking in the gifting that God had blessed him with. So shout out to the people who's been sending me different videos so I can share with the people on live, and because a lot of you guys don't have the time to dig in, so we try to provide the information for you. Okay, I'm just providing information, and you guys do whatever you will with the information that I am providing. This is not to sway anyone. This is just to provide you some information. So I thank those who have. I don't know if you guys want me to shout your name out. Some people just like to be behind the scene and not, try to get any kind of recognition. But I do thank everyone that has sent me things behind the scene. You guys really, really rock. I'm talking about the videos. You guys have sent me lots of videos, and they fit exactly to the where I need it. Okay. One of the things I'm trying to look for it while I talk to you guys. Just one second. I'm just trying to find the video because I wanted to put it into place of what. Hold on a second. Just a second. Just a second. All right, that wasn't it. Sorry. Just because they people send me things with different platform, and I'm trying to figure out which platform I got that video under. I think this is it. Hold on. Just bear with me a second. Just a second. Okay. Thank you. Shout out to that person who gave me this video, and I'm gonna play this video. This is an interview with him. And this is basically what he's saying in regards to what's going on with him and how he feels. Okay. This is Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. I do not own the rights to any of the recordings that I'm playing. This is only for entertainment purposes. Where's Miss Black Beauty? She usually have my little statement so I can put it out there. Black Beauty, where are you? Where is she so she can put my my statement? There she go. I found it. Oh, there we go. Black Beauty, okay. You do not have permission to use anything content in my video. And also, Black Beauty, where's our other one? Where's the other one? The disclaimer. I was looking for the disclaimer. There we go. Thank you, Black Beauty. Tell you, she be right on it. Okay. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, all my mods who rock with me every day and is on this channel. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys a lot. When I become famous and rich, I make sure I pay y'all for y'all volunteer work. Okay, that's enough. All right, here we go. Thank you. Shout out to the person who sent me this. Hey, Elia, hello. All right, shout out to that person who gave me this, who sent me this video. I'm not playing the video. I'm just going to play the audio part of the video. Okay, here we go.
I can't do it. There's so much that people don't know about Robert. They don't know Robert. They see this guy popping crystal in a video with a nice suit on and diamonds everywhere. You got women around him every day, 24 hours a day. But when you do it on a video and it's ran 20 million times a day, all day long, people, they're forced to have this impression of you. And you can't blame them. Do you feel like you're paying a price for this persona that you created, this image that you created? Yes. Hell yes was going to be the answer. Yeah, it was. I'm trying to contain myself. You have to be this perfect person, which I can't do it. There's so much that people don't know about Robert. They don't know Robert. They see this guy popping crystal in a video with a nice suit on. You have to be this perfect person, which I can't do it. There's so much that people don't know about Robert. They don't know Robert. They see this guy popping crystal in a video with a nice suit on and diamonds everywhere. You got women around him every day, 24 hours a day. But when you do it on a video and it's ran 20 million times a day, all day long, people, they're forced to have this impression of you. And you can't blame them. Do you feel like you're paying a price for this persona that you created, this image that you created? Yes. Hell yes was going to be the answer. Yeah, it was. I'm trying to contain myself. I know you.
Okay. So you guys, you're hearing him. You hear the pain that's going on inside in regards to how people perceive him, right? They perceive him as a ATM, you know, the cash cow that we talked about. They perceive him as the cash cow. They perceive him as the money man when he actually didn't even have control over his money. It's a very, very lonely and sad place to be. You know, you don't know who to trust. You don't know if they're here for you or they're here to get what you want, what you have, to get what you have. So a lot of people place themselves around him just because he had money. Gonna play the other video. Just 1 second. Just bear with me a second. Just 1 second, guys. Shout out again to the person who sent me this. Appreciate you guys so much. But in the meantime, while I look for this, I'm gonna play some things for you. I'm gonna allow the system to play it, or some things I'm gonna read for you. But majority of it, I want you guys just to listen to it. I'm gonna let the computer read the words, and you guys, I want you to listen. These are articles starting from back in 1994. In regarding to Robert's situation, some things that are being brought about right now. I want to read something in regarding to the laws and regarding to sexual abuse and sexual crimes, right? The statute of limitation in the state of New York originally was for 5 years for felony and 2 years for misdemeanors. But in 2019, the law changed. The law changed to that you can go back and if you were a child up to the age of 55, you can go back and basically file claims against your abuser, whether it's criminal claims or civil claims. You couldn't do it. There was a statute of limitation for 2 years in misdemeanor and 5 years for felony. On August 15th, 2019, they gave anybody who was under the age of 23 the opportunity to file charges between August 14, 2019 to August 14, 2020. They gave them 1 year to be able to file any claims against their abusers, right? So this played a big part of why Robert is being charged now, because as you know, the age of AZ was 22, right? So they had to hurry up and rush to get that done in order to meet the deadline. Because if she was 23, by the time the deadline ended, she couldn't have filed, and they couldn't put it as part of it. And in Chicago, the law changed also in 2019. It changed because it was the same statute of limitation in Chicago, but now Chicago has unlimited. Chicago and 7 other states have it where it's unlimited. Doesn't matter the age of the individual. But here's the key: anybody that is bringing the charges of anything new, they have years and years and years to be able to file any kind of criminal or civil charges, right? So because New York law changed, they brought it to the states where the law has been amended or changed, which is New York and also Illinois in 2019. So that is one of the reasons why a lot of people say that, okay, why didn't they charge it back then? I'm going to play a couple of things for you guys in regarding to some of these cases, right? And I know some of you guys said there was a remedy made. He paid those women, and how can they come back and come after him? Because the law changed. The law says now that they can go after him, right? So that is why all these people who made these claims are coming back. Okay? Yeah, exactly, sweet one. Politically motivated. They did it specifically to gear up towards Kelly. Yep, definitely. And if you guys, I'm going to remind you, you know, the guy in Arizona had it until last year, December 2020, on December 31st. That was the last day that they could charge, because Arizona is one of those states that did the change of the law. Do you remember that that group? I don't remember the name of the group, but it was a guy that was trying to hurry up and get him charged. I think, was it Sting, if I'm not mistaken? It was one of those groups that the young girl, I think she was 15, and she was saying that the lead singer had her she was at his house, and he had sex with her or something like that. But they were trying to hurry up to charge him before the statute of limitation ended in December 2020 on the 31st. So I'm not too sure what happened to that case. I'll go back and check and see if they actually was able to file charges against him. But it was a big rush to go after those individuals who supposedly had sex or was having some inappropriate relationship with underage girls. Okay. In the rock and roll era and industry, music industry and all that, it is known for young people to flaunt around these stars. And a lot of them was dropping their drawers. And that's the honest thing. A lot of them wanted to be around the famous singers and famous athletes. And they wanted to, the best way to get them is to give them sex. And a lot of those women did that. The reality of it, they used their body to get these men. And you guys, let's just be real. That's what they did. Because a lot of them, their values was not in the right place. To me, I'm going to give you my opinion. To me, I would think that you would use more of your mind than your body to obtain wealth. You understand what I'm saying? So, hey, suburban girl. So, hey, so that's what was happening. A lot of groupies, y'all. A lot of groupies was flaunting around singers, athletes, anybody that was famous. They were flaunting around them because that's what they wanted. They wanted the fame. They wanted the finances. They wanted them to take care of them. And a lot of them were young women. And a lot of people have done that. If those are around my age, the 50 and 40 people, tell me, guys, just hit a 1 if you have ever gone to a concert and you weren't of age, or gone to a party, or gone to the club, just to be in the mix of those people. Have you ever? And to be honest, any of you guys have ever flown around a guy who was older than you, and then you wanted to be there, and sometimes you lied about your age just because that individual was older and they had it going on? Come on, kid, let me see those ones. I won't judge you because I'm gonna put my 1 up. It's mighty quiet in the church here. Okay, thank you, Erica, for being honest. Because thank you, Janet, thank you, Lisa. Because some folks in here gonna act like they church people. They didn't do that, right? But thank you, honey. Thank you, Kanoko. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. No to the first question and no to the second question. Okay, Rita. All right, Rita. Rita was a square. Let me stop. I'm just joking, Rita. Look at Elizabeth. I know Elizabeth was there. Come on, Liz. I know you was there. Put that 1 up, Liz. Okay. Charlotte says she don't like older men. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you, Suburban One. I just thought I was the only one. Okay, mine was a basketball player. I was 16 years old, y'all. I'm just being honest. I was 16 years old, and he was a pro basketball player. In fact, one was Mark Jackson, y'all, and the other one was Carlton Nevison. Carlton Nevison, he was a basketball player that played overseas in Italy. So I had 2 basketball players, and I was 16 on one and 17 the other age. So I know about being a groupie. Not a groupie, but so I know about it. So and I'm gonna be honest. And did I tell him how old I was? No, I didn't. Could he got in trouble? Yeah. Good. Yeah, he could have got in trouble. But this is the way it was back then, y'all. I'm just being totally honest with you. I'm sitting here being realistic. I know textbook perfect world people try to act like the women are not some of the causes. You understand what I'm saying? At 16, I was very, very mature. At 17, I was very, very mature. I knew what I wanted. I didn't lose my virginity, but I was there. You understand what I'm saying? I was there. The point is, all I'm saying is that as young ladies, we want to be with the ones that has, got it going on. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. Okay. And I know some people are going to come and use this against me, but that's okay. I'm just being truthful and honest with you guys. It's real. That's right, honey. It is. It's real. Exactly, Shannon. Exactly. But I know females that have dated older guys in time. Absolutely. Tatted Leisha says, I like older men, but my boyfriend is younger than me. He is 39. Yeah. Well, now it's like, I'm older now. I don't want the old men now because, it's like they might have wear Pampers. I don't want nobody to wear Pampers. But I'm just saying, if I was getting an older man now, oh, I forgot I did a man at 15 and he was 20. Well, I guess I like older men, but not now. Charlotte, I understand. Okay. But I just wanted to because all these people act like they're angels and this is not the way it was. You gotta remember this was back in the 90s, people, 1990s, a lot of in the 80s, 70s, especially the 70s. I mean, I don't know too much about the 70s, but the 70s I've heard there was a lot of stuff going on back then. All right, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and play this, you guys, so you guys can hear. I'm going to share this with you guys here. I'm going to keep it small, but I am going to share it. So we're going to start off in 1994, okay? 1994. And I'm going to let this thing read it for you guys. All right, here we go. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear it. I'm going to put it as close as possible so you guys can hear it. And I'm going to let this thing read it for you guys. Listen very careful. This is back in 1994. We're going to start back there so you guys can get a little whiff of what was happening. I'm going to give you 1994, and then I'm going to bring it up forward to all right, here we go. This is December 1994, an article by the Chicago Sun-Times. And of course, your good old boy, Jim Darragagis, was the stalker for Robert, who wrote on him for years. So this is an article he did on Robert in 1994. And this is right after the divorce, the annulment of Aaliyah, and that was done. But I'm gonna let you guys listen to this and for yourself so you can understand some of the stuff that is being said, okay? And listen what she said, what Aaliyah said too, okay? Here we go. I'm gonna play it so you guys can hear it. Okay, you ready? Just listen. I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna let y'all listen to it, okay? Because I didn't put my my what's the name on it, so I'm just gonna play it. All right, here we go.
Copyright 1994 Chicago Sun-Times, Inc. Chicago Sun-Times. December 30th, 1994 Friday, late sports final edition. Headline, Aaliyah, success without a hitch. Singer denies marriage rumors. Byline, by Jim Darragagis. The word protege seems to follow Aaliyah's name in every article that's written about her, but the young R&B diva doesn't mind. It's always Aaliyah and R. Kelly and Aaliyah, says the singer, who's appearing Saturday with Keith Sweat at the Hewitt Pavilion. I don't mind being called his protege because that's what I am. The Brooklyn-born, Detroit-raised Aaliyah, pronounced Aaliyah, is riding high on the success of her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Her first single, Back and Forth, was a #1 R&B hit, grabbing the top spot from Kelly, the Chicago phenom who's her producer, songwriter, and mentor. But Aaliyah, who's listed as 15 on a press release issued with her album, maybe more than that, in a report that she married Kelly, 27, in suburban Rosemont in September was one of the year's biggest pop music scandals. Vibe magazine recently printed a copy of the couple's marriage license, signed and sealed by Cook County Clerk David Orr. It lists Aaliyah Houghton's age as 18. The county clerk's office has verified the document. Obtaining a marriage license doesn't mean a couple actually got married. And the minister listed on the license, Nathan Edmond, didn't return a call requesting comment. Aaliyah refuses to comment on the Vibe article or the marriage license. She insists that she and Kelly aren't married. She refuses to give her age, but says she's still in high school and tours with a tutor. I saw the Vibe article, but I don't really comment on that because I know that's not true, Aaliyah says. When people ask me, I tell them, hey, don't believe all that mess. We're close and people took it the wrong way. The official statement from Aaliyah and Kelly's label, Jive Records, is no comment. But Jive's Chicago branch manager Wayne Williams adds some insight. I'll tell you this, they ain't married, Williams says. You don't see no ring on her finger, right? As far as all that other stuff, I'm sure that's just media hype. Robert, Kelly, has reached a level now where he's going to get a lot of rumors. The more successful he is, the wilder they'll get. I know Robert and Michael Jackson were talking about this when they recorded together in Chicago. Things get crazy, and they get out of hand after a certain point. Williams acknowledges that Kelly's image could be hurt if he were married and fans found out. Female fans are all in love with him, and when any guy who's a sex symbol gets married, you're gonna have a lot of disappointment, he says. And a big part of Aaliyah's appeal is that she's young and youthful and she's connecting with her audience lyrically as well as image-wise, Williams says. That could also be hurt if it turns out that Aaliyah is really 18 and married. We're really cool friends, is how Aaliyah characterizes her relationship with Kelly. We've known each other for 4 years. But it's a friendship, and it will continue to be a friendship. The two met 4 years ago through Aaliyah's uncle and Kelly's manager, Barry Hankerson. Hankerson is the former husband of Gladys Knight, and Aaliyah's first professional gig was singing backup for Knight. Like Kelly, Aaliyah started singing as a child, performing in school musicals and at church. She originally wanted to sing like her heroines, Whitney Houston and Barbra Streisand. But as a teen, she discovered hip-hop and the seductive sounds of New Edition. Aaliyah's Street Smart debut was recorded with Kelly over the course of a year at the Chicago Recording Complex. Together with his own sophomore effort, 12 Play, it secured Kelly's reputation as the hottest producer in R&B. Traditionally, R&B stars' female protégés have had short-lived careers. Few people seem to remember the Mary Jane Girls, produced by Rick James, or Vanity 6, produced by Prince. But Aaliyah says she's here to stay. Of course, there's a connection with me and Robert because he did write the whole album, Aaliyah says. But as far as the second album, he probably will do some songs, but it won't be a whole project. I do see myself becoming my own artist. If you know your own style and you're sure of yourself, you can definitely overcome the protégé thing. Graphic, hip-hop sensation Aaliyah denies reports that she and mentor R. Kelly are married. We're close, and people took it the wrong way, she says. Load date, December 30th, 1994.
So y'all heard her say that they were not married. But I got more for you guys. I got more. Hold on. So that is what Aaliyah said to the for the interview. All right. I have something else here for you guys to listen to. We're going to go by the dates, okay? So that was in 1994. Now we're going to a couple of more dates up. Just 1 second. Okay, now we're in 2000 right here. This is Derek Gigas again, right? We're gonna play this one. Guys, y'all want to hear a male voice or do you want to hear a female voice? Y'all want to hear a male voice or female voice? All right, so we'll do a male voice on this one here. Hold on.
Copyright 2000 Chicago Sun-Times, Inc. Chicago Sun-Times. December 21st,
December 21st, 2000 Thursday, Late Sports Final Edition. Headline, Kelly accused of sex with teenage girls. Byline, by Jim Derogatis and Abdon M. Paulash. Body. Chicago singer and songwriter R. Kelly used his position of fame and influence as a pop superstar to meet girls as young as 15 and have sex with them, according to court records and interviews. The author of I Believe I Can Fly met two of the girls on a return visit to Hyde Park's Kenwood Academy where he got his start, one of the girls said. The girls were singing in the choir. One of the girls sued the three-time Grammy Award winner for $10 million in 1996. Saying he started having sex with her when he was 24 and she was 15. Kelly engaged in inappropriate sexual contact with her, including but not limited to engaging in group sexual intercourse with her and other minors, the suit alleged. In a more publicized case, Kelly married his 15-year-old protege, Aaliyah, in 1994 shortly after producing her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. She quickly ended the marriage once her family and the public found out. Born and raised on the South Side, Robert S. Kelly, who will turn 34 on January 8th, is the most successful soul or R&B performer from Chicago since the great Curtis Mayfield. He headlines tomorrow night before 22,000 fans at the United Center as part of WGCI's annual Christmas concert, which is sold out. Kelly has sold more than 20 million albums. His current release TP2.com sits at number 15 on the Billboard chart, and he has scored 7 top 5 singles, including I Believe I Can Fly, which was included on the soundtrack of the 1996 film Space Jam at the request of the movie star and Kelly's friend, Michael Jordan. Kelly has been honored for his philanthropic work on behalf of Chicago charities and children's organizations. Sex is not the most important thing in my life. I get as much satisfaction from preaching to kids as anything else, Kelly told the African-American publication The Voice. But there is a split in Kelly's music between the anthemic I Believe I Can Fly and the down and dirty bump and grind, and between the spiritual I Wish and the self-explanatory I Like the Crotch on You. That split apparently has been mirrored by the contrast between his public stance as a hero for young children and his private behavior with young girls. Sources said Kelly continues to seek meetings with underage girls by having an assistant press tiny balled-up notes with his phone number into the palms of their hands backstage at concerts or at video shoots. Illinois state statute prohibits adult men from having sex with girls under 17, but prosecutions must be brought within 3 years of the act. Kelly never has been charged in connection with any of his relationships with minors, and the statute of limitations is now passed for several of these relationships.
Y'all heard that, right? Did y'all hear what they said about the what I was just telling you about the statute of limitation in Illinois? And that change as of 2019, where now they made it like unlimited. So that's why they are able to bring these charges against him, because the law changed. Where in New York, they gave it a certain amount of time for them to come after him, where Chicago has not done that. They made it unlimited for them to be able to come and do charges against individuals. You got it, guys? Okay. Let me go ahead and continue playing this.
Chicago police twice have investigated allegations that Kelly was having sex with an underage female but dropped the investigations because the girl would not cooperate. A spokeswoman for Kelly said she had no comment on the lawsuit or any of the charges of sex with minors. Kelly is hardly the first celebrity to be accused of taking advantage of underage girls. Gary Glitter, Rob Lowe, Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Roman Polanski, Rolling Stone Bill Wyman, and even the legendary Errol Flynn all have been written about in this paper and others for allegedly having trysts with minors. In 1994, Michael Jackson settled a lawsuit with the family of an underage boy with whom he allegedly had sexual contact. In ongoing attempts to regain his career's pre-scandal peak, Jackson has collaborated with Kelly several times, including the 1995 single You Are Not Alone. The Tiffany Hawkins lawsuit. On Christmas Eve, 1996, a Chicago woman named Tiffany Hawkins filed suit against Kelly and his record, publishing, and management companies in Cook County Circuit Court, charging that she suffered personal injuries and severe emotional harm because she had sex with the singer and he encouraged her to participate in group sex with him and other underage girls. According to the lawsuit, Hawkins began having sex with Kelly in 1991, when she was 15, and the relationship ended in 1994, when she turned 18. Hawkins was seeking $10 million in damages, but sources said she accepted a fraction of that amount, $250,000, when the suit was settled a little more than a year later in January 1998. Hawkins did not respond to requests to comment for this article, but her mother said that the terms of the settlement forbid her from talking to the press. A spokeswoman for her attorney, Susan Loggins, also declined to comment, citing a confidentiality agreement. I'm telling you as his spokesman that I have no comment about that. I have no knowledge of that, and I'm just saddened that that's the only thing you could call me about, said Kelly's publicist Regina Daniels. That's my statement. A second Chicago woman who was named in the lawsuit recently expanded on the charges. She said that she was prepared to testify about what she called Kelly's sickness, his desire for underage females. The woman said that she had sex with Kelly on several occasions in 1991 when she was 16 and the singer was 24, and that she once had sex with him while he simultaneously fondled the 15-year-old Hawkins. The woman, who is now 25, said that she first met Kelly when she was a 14-year-old freshman at Kenwood Academy in Hyde Park, singing in the choir under the direction of music teacher Lena McLean. Kelly has credited McLean as his first musical mentor and a second mother. The singer attended Kenwood but never graduated from high school. McLean has since retired. He comes back all the time. He considers me his mother and mentor, McLean agreed. In addition to visiting Kenwood Academy, Kelly also visits the United Church of Hyde Park, where McLean directs the choir. Told of the allegation that the adult Kelly recruited freshman and sophomore girlfriends from her choir, McLean said, "I don't know what he did outside of school. But in the school, there was no hanky-panky. If they were involved in that, the sad thing is, it takes two to tango." McLean admits she dislikes many of Kelly's more sexual songs. "He has a very decent moral spirit inside that's dying to come out," she said. "It comes out in I Believe I Can Fly. It comes out in the Angel song he did with Celine Dion. It will eventually grow. It may be a little baby now, but it will eventually get real big." The woman from McLean's choir said she and Hawkins began hanging out with Kelly through all-night recording sessions at the Chicago Recording Company, and they occasionally contributed backing vocals to his productions, including songs that he crafted for Aaliyah. The woman said she believed that Kelly would help her singing career if she granted him sexual favors, and the superstar encouraged her to drop out of school in order to pursue a career in music. She said she has decided to speak out about the affair now because she believes Kelly continues to have similar relationships, to the possible detriment of the other girls involved. "I just feel like it's going to come out in the light anyway," she said. "I'm not trying to bring him down, because really, honestly, I think it has to be a sickness. Looking at the pictures of how me and Tiffany Hawkins were when we were freshmen. We were ugly little girls compared to what he could have had, and so I just didn't understand why he did what he did. According to Hawkins' lawsuit, Kelly had sex with underage girls in his apartments at 9S Wabash, 185 North Harbor Drive, and other locations in Chicago. In response to questions from Hawkins' attorneys, Kelly admitted that he employed Hawkins as a background vocalist and periodically gave her small cash gifts and approximately $1,400 in checks, but he denied having any sexual contact with the girl. Kelly's labels, Jive Records Incorporated and Zomba Recording Corp., sought to get out of the suit, saying that Kelly's alleged tortious conduct against his live-in paramour in the privacy of their home has nothing to do with Jive and Zomba. Hawkins' lawsuit also initially included charges of sexual harassment against Kelly, since he was in effect her employer. But Hawkins dropped those charges after Kelly's attorneys argued that such allegations first must be aired before the Illinois Human Rights Department. The charges never were heard in that forum. Hawkins' friend said that Kelly did not force himself on her sexually. "He treated us very well," she said. "We got anything we asked for, but we weren't going to ask for much. A pair of Air Jordans or $100 was a lot of money to us. I still love R. Kelly's music, I don't hate him," she added. "He reminds me of a boyfriend who hurt you that you still love. He hurt me by not helping me out and telling me to drop out of school. He told me and Tiffany both, if you want to be serious about the music, you have to be at the studio and not at school, because school isn't going to make you a millionaire. At 16, that's like a dream to us to work with R. Kelly, so we listened to him. I think it's a sickness." The story of the Hawkins lawsuit is a complicated one. According to legal papers on file with the circuit court, Hawkins' attorneys first presented Kelly with notice that they were about to file suit on December 5, 1996. On Christmas Eve, the same day that Hawkins filed suit seeking $10 million in damages, Kelly sued Hawkins for $30,000 in punitive damages, charging that she had demanded substantial sums of cash and a recording contract or she would widely publicize the false allegations that Kelly had fathered her child. In fact, Hawkins' lawsuit made no mention of a paternity claim. The documentation in Kelly's lawsuit amounted to a total of 5 pages, and the blackmail charges never were mentioned again in any of his legal filings. Kelly's count against Hawkins eventually was voluntarily dismissed. However, his charges against the girl were the only charges that ever were publicized. Kelly's New York publicity firm, Dan Clores and Associates, helped Kelly air his side of the story by placing items in the press about his lawsuit against Hawkins. On December 26, 1996, the New York Daily News and the Chicago Sun-Times both ran gossip column items mentioning Kelly's lawsuit. Many celebrities are constantly being harassed and sued, and more often than not, they decide to settle, a Kelly spokesman working with Clores told the Daily News. Kelly has decided, no way. Sources said that Kelly reconsidered that hardline position and settled with Hawkins on January 23, 1998, just 4 days after she gave a 7-hour deposition. The sources said that Kelly quickly ended the case at that point by paying Hawkins $250,000. There was a complaint by Kelly, there was a complaint by her, it was settled, the settlement is confidential, I have nothing else to say about that case now or ever, said Kelly's lawyer, Gerald Margulis of the Los Angeles firm of Mannett Phelps and Phillips. The Aaliyah marriage. Hawkins' relationship with Kelly apparently ended around the time the singer became intensely involved with his young female protege Aaliyah, shortly before the release of her Kelly-produced debut, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. In 1994, Kelly grabbed headlines with reports that he had married the 15-year-old Aaliyah. But the artists never confirmed the stories, and spokesman for Kelly disputed the age difference. The Chicago Sun-Times has found court documents that spell out for the first time exactly what happened. Kelly was introduced to the Brooklyn-born, Detroit-raised Aaliyah D. Houghton when she was 12 years old by her uncle, Barry Hankerson, a music industry veteran who has managed stars such as Toni Braxton and Gladys Knight. Hankerson oversaw Kelly's rise to the top of the charts but split with the singer earlier this year. On August 31, 1994, at the Sheraton Gateway Suites in Rosemont, Kelly, then 27, and Aaliyah, then 15, were married by the Reverend Nathan J. Edmond of Chicago, according to the marriage certificate they filed with the Cook County clerk. Aaliyah lied about her age, signing the marriage certificate as an 18-year-old, she later admitted in court documents. Sources said members of Aaliyah's family became enraged when they learned of the marriage. Documents show that shortly after the wedding, Aaliyah and her family persuaded a Michigan judge to annul the marriage. In May 1997, in the midst of the Hawkins court battle, Aaliyah filed suit in Cook County seeking to have all records of the marriage expunged because she was not old enough under state law to get married without her parents' consent. Hawkins' attorneys had been seeking to bring evidence of the Kelly-Aaliyah marriage into their case. A Cook County judge agreed in 1997 to seal the records of the marriage. "I don't really comment on that because I know that's not true," Aaliyah told the Sun-Times in one of her few comments on the marriage in December 1994. "When people ask me, I tell them, hey, don't believe all that mess. We're close and people took it the wrong way." Sources said that a naive young Aaliyah had a crush on Kelly, but was caught by surprise when Kelly suddenly arranged the marriage. They said that Aaliyah quickly ended her personal and professional relationships with Kelly and has had no contact with him for the last 5 years. "When R. Kelly comes up, she doesn't even speak his name, and nobody's allowed to ask about it at all," said a spokeswoman for Aaliyah's current record company, Virgin Records. Aaliyah's career has taken off without Kelly. She scored a hit with the 1996 album One in a Million, produced by Timbaland, and has appeared in several films, including Romeo Must Die. In most interviews, Kelly has refused to talk about the marriage. His publicist Regina Daniels said, "It ended with, maybe we're over our heads, maybe this is too much, maybe we need to go our separate ways. I love you, I always will, I wish you the best, but maybe we just jumped in way too deep into this thing." And she went her way and he went his. In 1996, Kelly married a 22-year-old dancer from his touring troupe. The couple have 2 children. Daniels expressed indignation that questions about the Aaliyah marriage linger. "Robert has done enough else in his career that if people can't say anything other than whether or not he is Aaliyah, then they can kiss my A," she said. Manipulator. Despite the scandals of the mid-90s and the fact that he now has a family of his own, sources said that Kelly continues to seek out underage females, and his behavior has become the subject of widespread rumor in the music industry. Sources and former girlfriends describe Kelly as a manipulator in his dealings with underage girls. "I have no comment to make," said Kelly spokeswoman Daniels. "There are a lot of people who are very much a player hater of Robert. All I can go by is the years that I've worked with him and what I've seen. I'm not saying anybody is beyond doing what I don't see, but I'm not looking under the covers with him. All I know is that he has presented himself to me to be a respectable person, and that is what I can go by." A Los Angeles woman recently described how Kelly began seducing her when she was a 17-year-old high school senior. She met Kelly on the video shoot for If I Could Turn Back the Hands of Time in 1999. "His assistant gave me his number, and from there we just started talking over the phone," the woman said. "I had told him the truth about my age. I don't believe in lying, but he was trying to woo me out there, to Chicago, despite the fact. Once I brought up the whole thing of, well, I have to ask my mother, he was like, 'You told your mom? Well, just wait then.'" She said that she and Kelly continued to talk via long distance, and they engaged in phone sex. He told her they were soulmates, and she believed he loved her. When she turned 18, Kelly sent her a plane ticket, and she said she visited and had sex with him in Chicago last August. But Kelly never told her that he was married, and they began fighting as soon as she found out. I do believe he does have a problem, the woman said. I look back at it now and I think I was stupid. Why the hell did I even go out there at all? There are some couples that there is a big age difference, and it's okay, but in this situation, I think that he really does have some kind of sexual problem. When I was flying out there, he was like, you need to act older. There's 15-year-old girls who act like they're 21 years old. And I was like, oh really? I'm not that old, and even if I was 30 years old, I'm not that type of person who's sticking their booty out, I'm sorry. Graphic, R. Kelly, accompanied by a choir, performs the hit single I Believe I Can Fly during the 1998 Grammy Awards show. Later in the show, that same song won him a Grammy for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance. R. Kelly married his protege, Aaliyah, above and lower right, in Rosemont in 1994, when she was 15. He also produced her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. The marriage later was annulled. R. Kelly was born Robert S. Kelly on the South Side in 1967. He is the most successful soul or R&B artist from Chicago since Curtis Mayfield. R. Kelly drives through the lane during a celebrity basketball game at the University of Illinois at Chicago in 1997. See related chart page 12, Mark Lenihan, Associated Press. Load date, December 22nd.
Okay, that was that one. And all of this is by these people. Hold on. All of this is by the you know who, the guy who constantly writes about him, Jim Deragagis. So that was December 22nd, 2020. 2000. Now we're going to go over to 2022. And you know, this, when I tell you this guy, all he did was write about Robert. All of this is Jim Deragagis and that other guy. They did nothing. Their whole career has been just writing about Robert. Books. He has made so much money off of Robert's name. So much money off of Robert's name. But here we go. We're going to listen to the next one here. And I know a lot of you guys have not heard any of these. These are actual newspaper articles by the Chicago Sun-Times. Chicago Sun-Times, yeah. Here we go. I'm going to put the woman on now. Change the voice to the woman. Hold on.
Copyright 2002 Chicago Sun-Times, Inc. Chicago Sun-Times.
June 9th, 2002 Sunday. Headline, Inspirational Singer or Perverted Swinger. Byline, Jim Deragagis, Abdon M. Paul Ash. Highlight. Discovered at a barbecue, he hit it big, but some saw dark cloud over R. Kelly. Body. Who is the real R. Kelly? Is the R&B superstar the inspiring gospel preacher behind uplifting anthems such as I Believe I Can Fly, I Wish, and The World's Greatest? Or is the Southsider the self-professed sexual super freak of raunchy bedroom shakers like Bump and Grind, I Like the Crotch on You, and Feelin' on Yo Booty? The answer is that 35-year-old Robert Sylvester Kelly is both, as well as a private, tormented individual who has been urged repeatedly over the last decade by friends and associates to seek help for what they call a compulsion to pursue underage girls.
Hold on, y'all guys. I have to stop because your girl just went on live, y'all. Hold on. Oh, she went off. Okay, so she went off. She was live a few minutes ago. I was trying to see what she had to say. All right, here we go. Let me continue. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
Girls, these sources have told the Sun-Times. Since launching his career in 1992, Kelly has sold more than 23 million albums. If not a household name, he has nonetheless been hailed as the most important R&B singer, producer, and songwriter of his generation, a familiar icon dressed in foreboding black leather and shades or a resplendent white suit with bowler hat and cane. Last week, fans saw the 6'3" Kelly looking small in a prison-issue orange jumpsuit, holding back tears as he appeared before a judge to pay the $750,000 bail that was set after he was indicted Wednesday on 21 counts of child pornography. Law enforcement officials said the investigation is ongoing and more charges may follow. The Illinois Department of Children and Family Services also has launched a probe into the family of the girl in the alleged child porn tape. Whatever the coming weeks bring, one thing is certain: the sexual super freak and the gospel preacher have experienced a tragic fall from grace. I knew I had something. The third of 4 children, Kelly was born in the South on January 8, 1967. His family moved to Chicago when he was a toddler. His mother, Joanne, was a teacher and a devout Baptist. Little is known about his father, who was missing through most of his youth. The family lived for a time in the projects on 63rd Street, and later in a small house at 107th and Parnell. Kelly would return to this home some 25 years later, using the front porch as the setting in the video for I Wish. A shy, introspective, and somewhat effeminate boy, Kelly often turned to his mother for protection when his 2 brothers teased and picked on him. He told Vibe magazine that he enjoyed eavesdropping on his mother, aunt, and sister as they gossiped at the kitchen table as much as he enjoyed playing basketball with his brothers on the playground. Former associates and family members say that he was abused as a child by an older man in the neighborhood, and this pushed his withdrawal from his male peers. Kelly has often told the press that he was shot at age 13 when some thugs tried to steal his Huffy bicycle. But his mother told a former associate on her deathbed that her son had in fact invented the story to cover a suicide attempt. He reportedly still carries the bullet in his shoulder. Music entered Kelly's life through his mother, who introduced him to the albums of her favorite soul singer, Donny Hathaway. He had a sexual texture in his voice that I always wanted in mine, Kelly told the Sun-Times' Dave Hoekstra in 1994. He had smooth, soulful tones, but he was spiritual at the same time. In 1979, Hathaway committed suicide at age 33 by jumping off the 15th floor of the Essex House Hotel in New York. I cried like a baby when I found out he passed away, Kelly said. Aware of his sensitive nature, Joanne worked hard to win Robert admittance to Hyde Park's prestigious Kenwood Academy. As a freshman there, he met the second woman who would become a major influence in his life, music teacher Lena McLin. The niece of gospel great Thomas A. Dorsey, McLin's other celebrated pupils include Chaka Khan and De Brat. McLin taught her students bel canto, a style of operatic singing that stresses vocal precision and evenness of tone. In the second week, she called on Kelly to sing at the front of the class. He did so reluctantly, but she recognized his talent instantly. If they were ashamed of themselves, I'd make them stand in front of the mirror, she told Vibe. I asked them, do you think God made a mistake? He could have made you a roach. McLin talked Kelly into wearing dark glasses and singing Stevie Wonder's 1982 hit Ribbon in the Sky at a high school talent show. That night it was like Spider-Man being bit, Kelly told Hoekstra. I discovered this power. I knew I had something then. The eye of the tiger. Kelly got poor grades at Kenwood, and he never graduated. Friends and former associates say he can barely read or do basic math, and he is extremely insecure about these shortcomings. But his innate musical talents provided the route out of poverty. Accompanying himself on a portable Casio keyboard, Kelly performed for spare change on L platforms. One day he collected $400. He was singing at a backyard barbecue in Pill Hill when he was discovered by Wayne Williams, who ran the Midwest regional office of Jive Records. I was inside the house and Robert was performing outside, Williams recalled. I saw this guy who had all the steps down, real choreographed. You could tell he put a lot into it, which is something you usually don't see, especially at a backyard barbecue. It was the eye of the tiger. Kelly already had a manager, Eric Payton, but it was time for more powerful representation. Payton was bought out by Barry Hankerson, a major player in the black music world who has been married to Gladys Knight, produced shows on Broadway and continues to manage Toni Braxton, among others. After revelations about the videotape prosecutors call child porn, Kelly said that former managers were trying to ruin him with damaging revelations. He refused to name his alleged enemies, saying that his lawyers have advised against it. Both Payton and Hankerson declined to be interviewed for this story. In 1991, Kelly struck a deal with Jive, the label that would become home to NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears. At the time, New Jack Swing and vocal groups such as Boyz II Men still ruled the R&B world, and it was decided that Kelly should be introduced to the public as part of a band. His first album, Born into the 90s, was credited to R. Kelly, and Public Announcement, though he was front and center in the photos, produced the disc and took credit for all the lead vocals. By January 1993, a year after its release, the disc had sold 1 million copies. I thank my mother for her guidance and for being there for me through the good times and the bad, Kelly wrote in the liner notes. He also thanked my music teacher and pastor, McLean, though he misspelled her name. Kelly split from Public Announcement a short time later, and it was with his first solo album in November 1993 that he broke wide open. Propelled by the Down and Dirty single Bump and Grind, 12 Play sold more than 5 million copies. R. Kelly had arrived, but even before he officially became a millionaire, he was allegedly abusing the privileges of fame. Chicagoan Tiffany Hawkins said in a lawsuit that she began having sex with Kelly in 1991, when she was 15, sometimes as part of group scenes involving other minors. The terms of the settlement forbid Hawkins from talking, but a friend who says she participated in group sex with Kelly and Hawkins when she was 16, and who was prepared to testify about this at trial, said the star met the two girls for the first time when he returned to Kenwood to speak to McLean's choir class. Sources say teachers at Kenwood warned students that Kelly often returned to cruise young girls. Asked about the Hawkins lawsuit in December 2000, McLean said, "I don't know what he did outside of school. But in the school, there was no hanky-panky. If they were involved in that, the sad thing is, it takes two to tango." Kelly's relationship with Hawkins ended in 1994, when she turned 18, according to her suit. She charged that Kelly had promised to help her career as a singer, and he never did. The split left her so devastated that she attempted suicide, she said. Hawkins filed her suit on Christmas Eve 1996. Her attorney, Susan Loggins, had warned Kelly the suit was coming. In a preemptive strike, Kelly sued Hawkins first, charging that she was trying to blackmail him on paternity charges. No evidence was ever presented for that claim. Hawkins' court papers never mentioned a paternity charge, and Kelly's claim was eventually dismissed. But Kelly's publicist leaked his side of the story to gossip columnists at the Sun-Times and the New York Daily News. Hawkins was effectively discredited as a gold digger, and the damning allegations in her lawsuit were never reported anywhere in the press until a December 2000 story in the Sun-Times. In 1996, a Kelly spokesman told the Daily News that the star would fight Hawkins' suit. "Many celebrities are constantly being harassed and sued, and more often than not, they decide to settle," he said. Kelly has decided, no way. But sources say Kelly reconsidered that hardline position and paid Hawkins $250,000 January 23, 1998, just 4 days after she gave a 71/2-hour deposition about the singer's sexual proclivities. A party privy to that deposition, which has been sealed by the court, said the charges were hair-raising. "It all started to go wrong for Robert with that Hawkins case," said a friend of Hawkins who worked as one of Kelly's dancers. "The brothers got problems, and he should have learned from the Hawkins case and got help for them. Nothing but a number." Kelly met Aaliyah D. Houghton, a talented Detroit native and Hankerson's niece, when she was 12. In June 1994, when she was 15, she released her multi-platinum debut, which had been produced by Kelly. In the title track, which Kelly wrote, Aaliyah sang, "Age ain't nothing but a number / throwing down ain't nothing but a thing / this something I have for you, it'll never change." Sources say that Kelly and Aaliyah had been having an intimate relationship for several months at that point, and that after his mother and McLean, Aaliyah was the only woman he has ever truly loved. If he never loved anybody, he loved her, a former associate said. If nothing else was genuine about him, his love for that young lady was, and I don't think her age had anything to do with it. In a December 1994 interview, Aaliyah told the Sun-Times she never had a romantic relationship with Kelly. Kelly has always avoided discussing Aaliyah, but in December 2000, his spokeswoman, Regina Daniels, said, "Rob did date Aaliyah, yes he did, and he did have a relationship with Aaliyah, yes he did, and past that, unfortunately, it didn't work out." On August 31, 1994, Kelly surprised Aaliyah by taking her to a room at the Sheraton Gateway Suites in Rome. Waiting there were a minister, the Reverend Nathan J. Edmond, and a falsified marriage certificate listing Aaliyah's age as 18. It had been secured with fake ID by one of Kelly's assistants, sources said. Kelly was 27. Edmond has refused to speak about that day, but a certificate on file with the Cook County clerk says that he pronounced the star and his young protege man and wife. Family members say Aaliyah thought it was all an elaborate game, and she just went along with it. Within hours, she realized what had happened, and she went to her family and sought their help. The family separated the couple, and Aaliyah never saw Kelly again. The marriage was annulled a few weeks later in Detroit, where records have been sealed. Revelations of the marriage caused a public scandal in 1994, and several publications printed the marriage certificate. But while Illinois law makes it illegal for adult men to have sex with girls under 17, police and prosecutors never investigated. Aaliyah went on to work with other producers, including Timbaland, and to launch a successful career as an actress. She died in a plane crash August 25, 2001. Aaliyah's gone. And I have a lot of respect for Aaliyah and her parents, Kelly said in an interview with Bet last month. I really don't think it's fair to say anything doing with Aaliyah, because I really don't think Aaliyah deserves that. Like a real freak. The Aaliyah scandal did not hurt Kelly's career. In September 1995, the single he produced for Michael Jackson, "You Are Not Alone," became the first #1 hit for the king of pop since his own well-publicized sex scandal. Jackson paid a reported $15 million to the family of a 13-year-old boy with whom he'd allegedly had sexual relations. Kelly also produced hits for Celine Dion, the #1 smash "I'm Your Angel," and Toni Braxton, "I Don't Want To." In November 1996, he released his third album, titled simply R. Kelly. The next month, he scored his biggest hit. "I Believe I Can Fly" was included on the soundtrack of Space Jam, the children's film co-starring a live-action Michael Jordan and an animated Bugs Bunny. Kelly has claimed to be a personal friend of Jordan's, but a former associate says they were never close. Michael would not ever show up to where he told Robert he would be, the associate said. I don't think they ever got in each other's presence but once or twice. An uplifting anthem driven by a gospel choir, "I Believe I Can Fly" offers the inspiring message that with faith in oneself, any obstacle can be overcome. See, I was on the verge of breaking down / sometimes silence can seem so loud / there are miracles in life I must achieve / but first I know it starts inside of me, Kelly sang. The tune hit #2 on the pop charts, won 3 Grammys, and became a staple at weddings, high school proms, and church services. Sex is not the most important thing in my life. I get as much satisfaction from preaching to kids as anything else, Kelly told The Voice. But he continued to sing about earthier concerns as well. Get in the club, 'bout 12ish / me and my homies hoochie huntin', he sang on Hump Bounce. On stage, he would feign intercourse with his dancers during Like a Real Freak. Then, moments later, he'd introduce I Wish, dropping to his knees to offer a tearful prayer to his mother, who died from cancer in 1993. Many fans found these abrupt shifts between the transcendent and the venal, the inspirational and the X-rated jarring. and friends and associates say Kelly's devotion to his family was largely an act. When Joanne Kelly was dying, she had to check into the hospital under an assumed name because she could not pay her medical bills, 2 Kelly associates said. They added that long after her son had become a millionaire, his mother drove an old beater that she had to hotwire to start. Kelly has been estranged from his brothers for years. In a recent interview with Chicago radio personality Doug Banks, one brother, Kerry Kelly, said he had never been to the house in Lakeview where Robert lived for 6 years. Kelly sold the George Street home, the alleged scene of the child porn tape, for $2.25 million in April, several weeks after the existence of the tape was reported by the Sun-Times. While the singer portrayed his sister as lovingly braiding his hair in the video for I Wish, associates say she worked as his housekeeper for several years, earning $400 a week. On stage, some of Kelly's handlers tried to remake him Pygmalion style into a smooth and suave soul man like his hero, Hathaway. But the image he liked to project was that of the R&B thug, to borrow the title of another of his...
Hey, did they just say that the sister was braiding his hair in the video I Wish? Didn't they say that was Lisa Van Allen? I'm confused. Did they say that was Lisa Van Allen? Somebody help me on that one. Didn't they say that that video was with Lisa Van Allen? But I just heard them say that was his sister that was braiding his hair. Which one is it? Was it his sister or was it? Oh, God. Okay. Rewind it back. Okay, Miss K. I'm going to rewind it back. Hold on. Rewind it back a little bit. Okay.
On stage, some of Kelly's handlers tried to remake him Pygmalion style into a smooth and suave soul man like his hero, Hathaway. But the image he liked to project was that of the R&B thug, to borrow the title of another of his songs, bringing the streetwise persona of the gangsta rapper into the more polite world of R&B. Kelly was never as tough as he pretended to be.
Hold on, I'm gonna go back.
Kelly was never when Joanne Kelly was dying, she had to check into the hospital under an assumed name because she could not pay her medical bills, 2 Kelly associates said. They added that long after her son had become a millionaire, his mother drove an old beater that she had to hotwire to start. Kelly has been estranged from his brothers for years. In a recent interview with Chicago radio personality Doug Banks, one brother, Kerry Kelly, said he had never been to the house in Lakeview where Robert lived for 6 years. Kelly sold the George Street home, the alleged scene of the child porn tape, for $2.25 million in April, several weeks after the existence of the tape was reported by the Sun-Times. While the singer portrayed his sister as lovingly braiding his hair in the video for I Wish, associates say she worked as his housekeeper.
They did say that, y'all. Hold on, right?
While the singer portrayed his sister as lovingly braiding his hair in the video for I Wish, associates say she worked as his housekeeper for several years, earning $400 a week.
Okay, so that was it? Van Allen? Or did these people got it mixed up? Or did they lie? Where are they coming from with this stuff? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Yeah, exactly, Nikki. Just lies, lies, lies. Bunch of lies. Bunch of lies, 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 lies. Okay, Dom want to come in. Hold on a second. Bunch of lies. They lie, lie, lie. Hold on. Let me put it in here. Exactly, Elijah. You see how you see the plot, right? You see the plot. Jim Deragagas is a liar. You see all of the stuff he's been putting out. He's a liar, liar. Jim Deragagas wrote this, Dom. Jim, the stalker. the liar. He's the one been putting out this stuff. Bunch of liars. Exactly, Lisa. I just wanted to, I'm playing this, guys, for you guys to hear the plot. Did you hear what I said? Remember I started talking about the plot yesterday? And you see how they could put a story out and how people run with it and stop believing this crap. This is what they've been doing all this time. They've been building up, adding on, building, right? Rebecca said, I researched Illinois marriage law in 1995. You first had to get a blood test and wait 24 hours to get married and wait 3 days for the first. I got married the same time. Okay, Rebecca. And then the other thing, y'all, isn't every marriage you have a picture? Why isn't there any picture about them? Why isn't there any picture anywhere? Now, this is a superstar. Even with the scandal, at least you have a picture of the marriage, the wedding. You got these people that was there. There's always a picture, at least one at every single marriage. Is one, at least one picture. One. Check my inbox. Okay, Rena, I'm gonna check it. At least one picture. One. At least one picture, y'all. Y'all, look at the hair braider. Look who the hair braider is. I'm going to put it on the camera. Look who the hair braider is. Y'all see? Does that look like his sister? The hair braider in the video. All right.
Yo.
Hair braider. Hey, Dom. How are you?
It's good. Good. How are you? How's everybody in the chat?
I'm good. What's up?
Yeah, nothing. I was just about to show you that it's not. And Lisa Van Allen has even said it's her. It's her. Like, it's clear as day. If you stop it on that part where you just did, it's her. So what I'm confused about is if you are a journalist, right, and you are writing on someone, why are you lying? Like, why are you even saying that? You know, when that's not true. That's if you're gonna lie about something small like that, I don't know what else you'll lie about. That's like if you'll steal a candy bar from the store, I don't know if you will steal a car. You see what I'm saying? That's how I think. I mean, you know, if you'll walk up to someone's car, unlock the door, and steal $10 from their car, you might go rob a bank. I don't know that. So if you gonna lie about about who this person is, he could be lying about 90% of what he's writing.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of lies in this thing.
Right.
I see a lot of
it's pretty crazy.
meeting.
Yeah, so that's all I really wanted to say, because that's
all right.
And they even say it even in the Surviving R. Kelly. I'm pretty sure they paused on that part and circled Lisa Van Allen and pointed out that was her. So I remember that. Yeah. So that's yeah, man, it's crazy. But all right, I'm gonna keep listening in the chat.
All right. Thank you, Dom. Appreciate you. All right, y'all, we're gonna play it.
On stage, some of Kelly's handlers tried to remake him Pygmalion style into a smooth and suave soul man like his hero, Hathaway. But the image he liked to project was that of the R&B thug, to borrow the title of another of his songs, bringing the streetwise persona of the gangsta rapper into the more polite world of R&B. Kelly was never as tough as he pretended to be. In July 1996, he and members of his entourage were involved in a fight with 3 men on a basketball court in Lafayette, La. The star spent several hours in jail, and associates say the experience left him a mental and physical wreck. He vowed that he would never again do time behind bars. The singer's personal habits are crude. He often goes days without showering, friends and associates say. He told Vibe.
Now you see where that crap is coming from, y'all? Jim Deragagis. Jim Deragagis. You see? A little stalker, little fat stalker.
Magazine, he often wears the same pair of pants 3 days in a row. But his magnetism and fame are such that countless women are drawn to him. He is a master manipulator, said one woman who had a relationship with Kelly when she was 17. She asked that she not be identified. This woman and 3 former Kelly associates said the star was adept at making young women think they were the center of his universe, and he often alienated them from friends and family members. He will sit at the piano and write a song for you right there on the spot, and women will just melt for him, said a former personal assistant. In 1996, Kelly married the former Andrea Lee, a 22-year-old dancer from his touring troupe. The couple now have 2 daughters and a son, Robert Jr., who was born just a few weeks ago. People in the singer's camp reportedly call Lee puppy dog, and Kelly associates say she is required to knock before entering a room in their house if he is at home hanging out with friends. Kelly's sexual pursuits did not come to a halt after the marriage. One of Kelly's former personal assistants, who spoke to the Sun-Times on the condition that he not be named, said that he split with the star in the mid-90s because of the Aaliyah incident, and
Don't that sound like your boy? Smith? Did you hear that? He split. He didn't tell the truth. He didn't tell her he got fired because he was stealing. He gonna tell he split because the Aaliyah incident. Oh, dude, stop lying, you little lying thief. Lying thief. Okay, here we go.
because Kelly continued to seek out underage girls, some as young as 14. Kelly's approach, which several sources said was typical, was described by a Los Angeles woman he seduced in 1999, when she was 17. She had visited the set of the video shoot for If I Could Turn Back the Hands of Time, and one of Kelly's assistants pressed something into the palm of her hand. The singer had written his cell phone number on a tiny balled-up piece of paper. She called, and a relationship began. Despite the scandal involving his niece, Hankerson remained as Kelly's manager for several years, but they split in 1998. Sources said Hankerson could not abide by his client's behavior, and that he agreed to waive money owed him if Kelly sought psychiatric help. The star refused. 2 other former associates say they also urged Kelly to get help for what they called an ongoing compulsion. But when they approached the star with these concerns, he refused to listen to them. Both eventually split from Kelly. Kelly's label, Jive Records, was named as a party in the Hawkins lawsuit in 1996, and Kelly associates reportedly warned label head Clive Calder about Kelly's behavior in 1998. Calder was traveling in Europe last week and could not be reached. Jive issued this statement: R. Kelly has been with Jive Records for 11 years and we fully support him and his music. Damning video evidence. Kelly's 5th album, TP2.com, debuted at #1 on the Billboard Albums chart in November 2000. That same month, the star was honored by the Chicago chapter of the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, receiving one of its first legacy awards for philanthropic efforts on behalf of the community. Kelly has given generously to numerous charities, though the Reverend James Meeks, his spiritual advisor, says the star has never donated to Meeks' Rainbow/Push Coalition. A few weeks later, in December 2000, the Sun-Times first exposed Kelly's pattern of pursuing underage girls. At the time, the Special Investigations Unit of the Chicago Police had been probing the singer's behavior for 2 years. Kelly apparently continued to cavort with minors even after the Sun-Times story, court papers allege. In the second of 3 civil suits filed against the star by Loggins, Tracy Sampson, a 17-year-old intern at Epic Records and a student at Columbia College, said Kelly promised to help her career as a rapper and coerced her into a sexual relationship that began in April 2000 and continued through March 2001. As he had with Hawkins, Kelly settled this suit, paying Sampson an undisclosed sum of money. The star also settled with a third girl represented by Loggins. In that case, the payment was made even before the lawsuit was filed. The settlement agreement prohibits Loggins from revealing any details about the case, but the plaintiff was an underage girl from Minneapolis, sources said. In early 2001, several weeks after the first expose, the Sun-Times received an anonymous videotape that appears to depict Kelly and a young light-skinned black girl having sexual relations in a wood-paneled sauna room. Sources said Kelly had 2 identical rooms in his houses on George Street and in Olympia Fields. The tape was given to police, who have yet to determine the girl's age and identity. A second, far more damning tape surfaced a year later, in February 2002. This second videotape, which was also sent anonymously to the Sun-Times, was 26 minutes and 39 seconds long. It depicts a man, apparently Kelly, engaging in numerous sexual activities including urination with a 14-year-old girl, who was identified for the Sun-Times by her aunt. Hours after receiving the tape, the Sun-Times turned it over to police, who promptly began investigating. Last Wednesday, based on this second video, Kelly was indicted on 21 counts of videotaping and producing child pornography and enticing a minor to participate in child pornography. In an interview with BET on May 8, Kelly said he is not the man in the tape. Last week, his criminal defense attorney, Ed Jensen, declined to say whether the man is Kelly. Instead, he said he would prove in court that the girl in the tape was over 18. Cook County State's Attorney Dick Devine said the tape was authenticated by the FBI crime lab in Quantico, Virginia, and experts there said it is not a forgery. The quality of the original tape is crystal clear, and the man who appears to be Kelly pauses several times in the action to adjust the camera angle. The girl and her parents told the grand jury that she is not the girl in the tape. But the jurors heard from about 50 witnesses, including the girl's aunt, who identified Kelly, the girl, or both. Months before the grand jury was impaneled, the girl's aunt said she thinks Kelly paid a cash settlement to the girl and her parents. Jensen said no such settlement has been made. DCFS said Friday that it has reopened a probe of the girl and her family. Kelly's world crumbles. Kelly will appear in court June 26 to face child pornography charges. Meanwhile, police and prosecutors say the investigation continues. Charges of sex with a minor are also being considered, and new evidence is being examined. Kelly also faces 2 ongoing civil suits. 4 weeks before the indictment, several variations of a bootleg R. Kelly sex tape were available on street corners across America, as well as on the internet. $10 for VHS, $15 for DVD. Most of these tapes compile 3 scenes. The first tape sent to the Sun-Times with the girl who remains unidentified, a second scene with Martina Woods, an adult dancer who tours with Kelly friend and collaborator Ronald Isley, and the third, 26-minute videotape described in the indictment. Police Superintendent Terry Hillard warned Wednesday that anyone owning or selling one of these tapes has child pornography and is subject to prosecution. 2 weeks ago, Woods sued Kelly for $50,000, saying she was unaware that she was being videotaped when she had sex with the singer at Chicago Trax recording studio. A fourth woman represented by Loggins, Patrice Jones, also filed suit in late April alleging that she had sex with Kelly between 20 and 30 times before her 17th birthday. Kelly has vowed not to settle this case. The ATM is closed, his longtime civil attorney Gerald Margulis said.
Hey, y'all notice how they're giving all these people name, right? Oh, Jesus. This is a newspaper article, y'all. This is a newspaper article, and you heard all the names, right? All right, here we go.
Loggins is representing a 5th woman with allegations against Kelly, and yet another lawsuit is pending. Even before the indictment was announced last week, Kelly's peers in the music world had begun to distance themselves, with artists such as Dr. Dre, Nas, Sisqó, and P. Diddy speaking against him. Kelly's last album, a joint effort with chart-topping rapper Jay-Z, was a commercial flop because Jay-Z refused to tour, make a video, or do any interviews with Kelly after revelations about the videotape. After the child pornography charges surfaced, several radio stations across the country pulled Kelly's music from their playlists. Kelly said Friday he eagerly awaits his day in court. But none of the associates who broke from his camp in the last few years are optimistic about the outcome. Said one of Kelly's former personal assistants, "I really don't want to see him go to jail, I really don't. He should have confessed all of this when he had the chance and gotten some help." The former dancer said, "I don't want him to go to jail, but there has got to come a point when you take responsibility for your actions, and that time has come." In the song I Wish from his last solo album, the gospel preacher seemed to predict the day that has now arrived for the sexual super freak. "And now you hear my songs, the radio is playin'," Kelly saying. "Oh, I can't believe my ears and what everybody's sayin' / boy, I tell you folks don't know the half." Graphic, Associated Press, Bob Black, John H. White, Kelly performs I Believe I Can Fly with the choir at the 1998 Grammys. Moments later he won Best Male R&B Vocal Performance for the song, which is included on the Space Jam soundtrack. Robert Sylvester Kelly, shown in his high school yearbook photo, never graduated from Kenwood Academy. The singer, who has given generously to many charities, is shown signing autographs in 1998 at the Uick Pavilion, where he talked about his second annual I Believe I Can Fly celebrity basketball weekend. Kelly poses with Darius Thompson in 1997 after accepting an I Believe I Can Fly card made by kids at La Rabida Children's Hospital. A wood-paneled sauna room similar to one in Kelly's house in Olympia Fields, above, is in a video that appears to show the singer and a girl having sexual relations. Singer and actress Aaliyah, who died in a plane crash in August 2001, met Kelly when she was 12. 3 years later, he married her. Kelly was arrested in Chicago on Friday. He is charged with 21 counts of child porn for allegedly videotaping himself engaging in sex acts with a 14-year-old girl. TP-2.com debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Albums chart in November 2000. Now some radio stations won't play Kelly's music. See also related story, page 9. Load date, July 1st, 2002.
So y'all see that, right? Y'all see that, right? Okay, now here we go. I'm going to play one more and then I'm going to give you guys a break from this and I'm going to end it. But I wanted to play one more thing for you guys. I'm telling y'all, I've been reading. All right, here's now I need you guys to listen to this part, this one here.
Copyright 2002 Chicago Sun-Times, Inc. Chicago Sun-Times. May 31st, 2002 Friday. Headline, Fourth Woman Sues Kelly Over Sex Tape. Byline, Abden M. Paul Ash, Jim Derogatis. Body. Another woman has filed suit against R&B superstar R. Kelly. Montina Tina Woods, 33, a Chicago dancer who tours with the Isley Brothers, said she never knew Kelly was secretly taping her sexual encounter with him at his recording studio, Chicago Tracks. The tape has made its way into a collage of 3 Kelly sexual encounters, bootleg versions of which are available on street corners across America. Woods had a right to privacy to prevent her personal image from being recorded for the purpose of his personal gratification and possible dissemination to the public, the suit filed in Cook County Circuit Court states. R. Kelly should have known this was likely to cause severe emotional harm and economic harm to Woods, the suit states. This brings to 4 the number of women who have sued Kelly in Cook County for inappropriate sexual behavior. 2 of them were underage. Kelly settled with 2 of the women. A 5th woman settled with Kelly out of court before filing suit, attorney Susan Loggins said. Those 5 do not include the then 14-year-old girl who appears on a 26-minute videotape engaging in sex acts with a man who appears to be Kelly. That tape was sent anonymously to the Sun-Times and turned over to Chicago police. Police investigated the tape and turned over evidence to the Cook County State's Attorney, which empaneled a grand jury. Bringing the total number of women to at least 7 is Aaliyah, the young singer and actress killed in a plane crash last year. Kelly married her when she was 15 and he was 27 in 1994. Her family annulled the marriage when they found out. They said Kelly encouraged Aaliyah to falsify her age. R. Kelly has been aware of his acts for over 10 years that constitute violations of criminal statutes and flagrantly displays disregard of the law by way of his negligence from causing further harm to females, Wood's lawsuit states. Kelly's attorney said he had not seen the lawsuit and so could not comment. The suit states, Kelly set up a hidden camera, prepared his office and background for the exclusive purpose of secretly recording Miss Woods. The tape includes nude dancing and sex acts. Patrice Jones, whose lawsuit against Kelly is pending, said the singer had sex with her, too, at his Chicago Tracks recording studio. Jones said Kelly coerced her into a sexual relationship after meeting her at the Rock and Roll McDonald's on her senior prom night. They had sex 20 to 30 times before her 17th birthday and she got pregnant, she said. Kelly forced her to get an abortion, her suit states. Load date, June 18, 2002.
Okay, that's enough of that. But look, listen to this. But the thing that gets me about this whole tape thing and all this, the tape stuff, why did the tape have to go to the news anonymously? Why did the marriage certificate went to the magazine or the newspaper anonymously? Why did it have to go anonymously? When you do things anonymously, you're trying to hide your identity. You don't want people to know that it is you. Now, if this supposedly happened in with these people, right? And you're bringing charges, wouldn't you be upfront and say, hey, I'm turning my tape over. This is what I have. This is what I have. I'm turning it over because I'm trying to seek justice for these people. Why is it done anonymously? Why does it have to be done anonymously? V-Rock, I don't even think he's guilty of the tax evasion because he had no control of his finances. These other people who actually has the stuff in their name and stuff. That's what I believe that happened with that. How can you, like the tax thing that's going on now with the house, how can he be a lien placed on him when the property's not even in his name? How is it not in his name? This is what I don't understand. A lot of stuff that is not in his name. These people started using his money to purchase different things and not put it in his name. V-Rock, I disagree with you. That house that they're talking, he has not owned that house. Remember, there was when they did that tax thing back years ago, they took the house from him. They took the house from him. Go look at the court records, V-Rock. Let's not put things out there until you look at the court records. Go look at the court records and see who the house's name is in. Go look and see who the house's name is in. Go to the county clerk and the commissioner's court records. You'll see whose house is it, the house's name in. Go to the county clerk and see whose house, the house name is in. Then you could make a decision on that. Get what I'm saying? Thank you, Rena. Thank you. Thank you. One thing about me, V-Rock, I do my research. I do my research, V-Rock. I promise you that. And that's public record. That is public record. There's some shenanigan that's going on. And I know the government can do whatever they want to do, how they want to do it, whatever they want to do it. But the thing is, how can you state that this man has not paid taxes? There's a tax lien on a house that he has not owned in years. They took the house away from him. You know what I'm saying? They took the house away from him. Okay, let's going on here. So, have you done that, V-Rock? Have you went and checked the court records? Not the court records, the tax records. You know, each house, whatever the address is, you can look it up. It's public record. You can go check it out and see whose name, who pays the taxes, and whose name was on the house during the time when it was taken over. What the hell? I'm crazy. Y'all. It's so she personally injured. How did she get pregnant? And who is the baby? Exactly. Oh, he was renting. It was in somebody else's. Thank you, lady. He was renting. Even the house and the thing is, like the house in Georgia, it was sold, right? But why not? The house in Georgia, it was sold. The first thing they go to tell you is R. Kelly house was sold. It's not. It hasn't been his house in years. So how is it his house? And he didn't even own it. It was another person owned the house. Pretty Pink, yeah, yes, Pretty Pink. He is overcharged in that New York case. It's not a RICO. I wanted to show y'all something. Hold on a second. There's one more thing I wanted to bring to you guys' attention. And I said I was gonna show you guys this. Hold on a second. There's something here I want to bring to your guys' attention. And it really had me really thinking a little bit. Hold on a second. I got it. Hold on. Now I'm gonna hold on a second. Okay, this is the info sheet from the case in New York. I just want to show you guys something here. Just want to show you guys something. I'm gonna share it with you guys in 1 second. All right, here we go. All right, look at this. Okay, look at this, y'all. Look at this. All right, hold it. I'm gonna open this up for you. This is the superseding, right? This is when he got the superseding in New York, right? This is of December. This was filed December 5th, 2019, right? Because if y'all notice, this case in New York they've been changing the different accusers. They've been changing different things while we sit and just watch. They changed it 3 times, and this was the second time they changed it. They did the initial charges, which was brought in June 2019, and then they did a superseding in December, and then they did another superseding in March, right? This superseding here in December, I want to show y'all something. And a lot of people was asking, why did New York come involved in this, right? I'm going to show you why. In here, you see right here, it talks about, this is the actual information, the charges, right? It says the information sheet, United States District Court, Eastern District of New York. It has the file date of December 5th, 2019. It says title of the case, United States versus Robert Sylvester Kelly, and give you the case number, and related magistrate docket number is not available. The rest is not available because he's never been arrested in New York. He was arrested in Chicago. Then it tells you the nature of the offense, which is considered a felony, right? Then it tells you the case, what it's related to, right? Then it tells you the length of the trial is going to be less than 6 weeks, right? Then it tells you, now this is the thing that really got me going. It says the county which the crime was allegedly committed. And you see what they put it in? It was in Queens. It was in Queens. Queens County. Queens County. And it says, was any aspect of the investigation, inquiry, and prosecution giving a rise to the case pending or initiated before March 10th, 2012? And it says no. It has the indictment. This indictment information been ordered sealed? No, it hasn't not been. Having a warrant. There was no warrant for his arrest because he was already in prison. In jail. And then it says, is there a capital count in this indictment? No, there's no capital count. And you see? So now, isn't that interesting? It was done in Queens, New York. Interesting. So that's where supposedly the crime happened. So public conviction by public opinion is not legal. Let it play out in the court. Thank you, Pretty Pink. Absolutely. Let it play out in the court, because none of us knows exactly what some of the evidence are, and so it has to be. Everybody's giving their opinion. Now, don't give opinion, because you're not lawyers. You don't know what the outcome of this case is going to be. All you can do is just listen to the information. You might have your thoughts, but as far as making some sort of decision on what's the outcome of a case, you can't do that because you don't know. So it has not been. And remember what the judge said. He said that Robert Sylvester Kelly, no matter how much you guys think of him, he is innocent because the law says he's innocent. And no question about that. He's innocent. This present time, he is innocent. I don't care what you think. He's innocent. Juicy love? That will be continue. I will get to that tomorrow. So on that note, we will go travel to my sister's live. She's live now. I've been getting messages that she's live. So I am about to end this, and you guys, let's scatty on over there to the other side, because it's time for me to end. My 2 hours time is over. All right. I see you guys. Love you guys. See you on the other side. Bye.